Hey, everybody, my name is Dr. Sheena Howard, founder of Power Your Research, an academic branding company where I help academics increase their visibility, authority, and income without the expense of a publicist. And today I'm giving you 5 tips to overcome imposter syndrome. Now, there is a correlation between highly educated people and imposter syndrome. In fact, according to an Arizona State University article, imposter syndrome is widely prevalent within higher education, with both graduate students and faculty reporting significant experience with the phenomenon. By some estimates, the article says, nearly 70% of academic professionals will experience imposter syndrome at some point in their career. And with the clients that I work with, Empower Your Research, lots of them are experiencing imposter syndrome. And it's one major factor in why they're scared to increase their speaking engagement rates or their consultant rates, or why they're scared to even create their digital course and put it up there and charge appropriately for the things that they are trying to monetize. And I am no different. In the past, I have experienced imposter syndrome a lot. I've charged too little for speaking engagements for too many years. I've had programs that I was selling for $300 that should have been $3,000. I've been to high level media interviews where people are interviewing me and I feel like I'm not supposed to be there. Why did they pick me? Maybe I'm going to mess up and say something stupid. All of those are examples of imposter syndrome. And I want to give you 4 tips to overcoming that because it's critical in your brand building journey. It's critical in your success. It's critical to you building your net worth. It's critical to you building equity in your brand so that your brand is worth more than just the transaction of selling things. And so here are my 4 tips, and these have drastically helped me. I do not experience imposter syndrome anymore because I've applied these 4 tips to my own personal life. And mentally, it is a lot more peaceful and calming when you can get to this place. And I hope that you all do. So, the first tip is to focus on facts, not feelings. Focus on facts, not feelings. So, the people that I work with, it is a fact that they have master's degrees and PhDs, and they've spent 10,000 hours studying and researching the thing that they are an expert in. And so, remembering and reminding yourself of how you got to where you are, focusing on the facts of who you are and the things that you've been through and the things that you've accomplished, and not the feelings, because the feeling is what is causing the imposter syndrome. The second thing is to, and this one is critical, this one has truly helped me, is to build facts until it would be unreasonable for you to believe that you are not good enough. And so, what that means is you need to create so much evidence for yourself that when that critical inner voice pops up telling you that you are not good enough, you have so much evidence and facts that the inner voice is silenced, because it would be unreasonable for you to think that you are not worth the opportunity that you have gotten, or that you are not worth charging the rate that you want to charge for your thing. And this one is critical, and it leads me to tip number 3, which is actually something that you can do starting today, is to take all of the awards that you have gotten, all of the plaques that you have gotten, any accomplishment that can be framed. I want you to go and find it. Sometimes we get awards and certificates and stuff, and we kind of just stuff it in a box. But I want you to take all of those things and get them framed. And I want you to put them in a specific place, maybe in your office, maybe in your room, maybe you have a basement where you can put things on a wall. Put them in one place. For me, I took all my awards and plaques and put nice frames around them and I put them in my office at work, but I also put them in a corner of my bedroom so that I am reminded when I walk into my office space that I am who I say I am. There is a visual representation of all of my accomplishments, and that is far better than having them sit in a box. But when you put them in one place in a room, it's like that particular area has power and value when you are in that space instead of scattering these things in multiple places. And then the fourth tip is to add more value until the cognitive dissonance goes away, because imposter syndrome is cognitive dissonance. It is mental discomfort. Your behavior is not aligning with your thoughts, and we need to get those things to align. And for cognitive dissonance, that means you need to change your behavior or change the way you think so that those things are aligned so that you're no longer experiencing this discomfort. So, at the beginning of this, I talked about having a program that I sold for $300 and I increased it to $3,000. And the reason why I wasn't charging $3,000 at the beginning is because I had imposter syndrome. But increasing my program, the way that I convince myself, because you have to convince yourself, even though your program or your thing or your speaking engagement is worth that, you have to feel it inside. And so, what you need to do is add so much value into that thing, your speaking engagement, your program, whatever it is, so that you are convinced that your thing is worth that. So, let's take speaking engagements for example, since my audience, all of you have said to me you want to increase your rates for speaking engagements. Well, right now you might be doing too many free speaking engagements, too many speaking engagements for $500. I teach that you should be charging $3,500 or more for a 1 hour talk. Now for you, because imposter syndrome is there, what I need you to do to convince yourself that you're worth that is add more value to the presentation that you're delivering until you have convinced yourself that you are worth that. So, this might look like doing a lot more research for your presentation. This might look like getting a professional designer to do your PowerPoint slides. This might look like offering your audience something else besides just the speaking engagement so you personally can convince yourself that you are worth that much for a 1 hour talk. And so, again, the reason you undercharge for speaking engagements, consulting, whatever it is because you don't think you're worth it. So, add more value so that you can believe that you're worth it, because imposter syndrome is in your head, it's not reality. All right. So, I hope that these tips helped. And let me know in the comments if they did. If you have questions, let me know. Of course, I am here for you to answer your questions. So have an amazing day.